What do you think about the news tonight?
I think it was absolutely terrible. I think we've definitely lost not just the national treasure, but a sovereign that would never be matched upon like strategy or like strength or compassion. Yeah.
Do you think like the cost of living crisis being like covered for like the past 2 weeks, do you reckon that'll sink, get lost in the abyss, I guess?
Realistically, I don't, because people, I think, genuinely feel like they need to have something to blame. And that's just society as a general, like not just British society, but like any society you go into, I think they need to have someone to blame. And for a long time, it's been the government. And then to have this kind of crisis happening within the monarchy, it's not appropriate to akin the death of a monarch who, I mean, let's be honest, like 98% of the whole global population have only known one monarch to reign Britain, and that's the Queen. And if you deep it that much, it's like, you know, every prime minister post 60s has been born when she was the Queen. So I think, you know, I don't think it's appropriate for everyone to try to use the death as a scapegoat. And I think it's also disrespectful in a kind of way as well.
Do you think the monarchy supports LGBTQ rights at all?
I think...
Sorry.
No. Absolutely. Come on, babe. Come.
Do you mind if I have a little debate
go
with you
for it,
guys?
go
Yeah, go on. So what do you think?
I just think it's like the monarchy is rooted in just everything that's not modern day, and I just feel like it's tired, and I'm over it.
You don't believe they support LGBTQ rights, or?
Not specifically, no. They've never really came out and said anything, have they, about...
Right, but this is what I'm saying, is like maybe the fact that they haven't had a stance is the best kind of a like position that you could have. Because the second I feel like the monarchy has a stance on a situation that's like very left-wing, and it's considered left-wing, let's be honest,
Yeah,
in political...
left-wing, though, should it?
But in political statements right now, logistically, it's considered a left-wing topic. So if the monarchy had a stance on it, then they are effectively picking a position, which means that they completely discredit the whole democracy that we've built.
Having a stance on it, okay. Yeah, I get that.
So
I get
feel
that.
like that's why they haven't had a stance on it. However, what I do believe, so I'm very left-wing, but I grew up in a very conservative background. So my ideology is, how about, because the last thing I'd want is for us to lose our royal family. I think it's a very, you know, integrated part, not in just through our history, but through global history. And I feel like for a family that's lasted over 1,000 years, historically, I think we would be stupid to let that family go. However, what I will say, what I will say though is maybe because we're like moving towards a democratic state, as in we like pick our prime minister, maybe we should have the freedom of right to choose within the family lineage of the royal family.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be able to vote who we want to represent as head of state. So, for example, the approval rating for Charles is less than 32%.
Okay.
William and Kate, it's over 82%. That I know for a fact.
Yeah.
So maybe we should, as the public, have the opinion to say, regardless if Charles wants to abdicate or not, we should have the opinion to say, actually, we don't want you as our king, as our sovereign. Maybe we should make the royal family more democratic in that sense. However, not deter from the royal family. So you've got like the royal family and you've got like Kate and William.
I feel like they need to cut the fat. So there's like so many cousins of the royal family that are just sponging off like tax money. And I think we just need to cut the fat, get rid of the...
Facts?
Pardon?
Where's the facts on that?
You know, like, I don't know names, but like cousins of royal families and stuff like...
Fact though.
What do you guys think about Prince Andrew?
Oh, awful. I don't think...
I disagree with that. I think he should have lost his royal title. I think he should have actually served time. This is what I'm saying with the whole democracy within the royal family. It's like we do not choose to appreciate what royals are within a situation or immediate situation of the royal like household. We should be able to choose with everything going on with Prince Andrew. I think as the people, we should have said, hang on a minute, I think Andrew should have lost his title and he should have served the time that he should have served. However, I feel like at the same time, we should have also been like, as the people, as a democracy, a democratic nation, we should have been able to say, Charles may not be able to get to the throne. However, we want William and Kate.
But do you think it's fair that like we're about to have a really expensive funeral and we're going into a recession? I just don't think like it's very appropriate. Like, we're going through like a cost of living crisis, and like loads of people are going to struggle to heat their homes, and now we're going to go splash out on like millions of pounds of funeral. Like, I just don't know if it's.
150,000.
I've heard it's a lot more than that.
You don't know what I'm quoting.
Oh, okay. Go on. What are you quoting?
150,000. That's the minimum expected to come to pay their respects to the Queen. Let's be honest. Like I said before, 98% of the global population has not known a single sovereign to rule Britain other than the Queen herself. I think we should genuinely pay homage to the fact that she's lasted through the eons. She was the first reigning monarch to broadcast on live television the Queen's speech. Not only that, she was one of the obviously, her uncle did a broadcast for the Christmas speech when he was king, and then he abdicated, and then it was given to her father. But I think genuinely, with that kind of heritage and that history, yeah, we should. I mean, King Louis XIV, for example, the longest reigning monarch in world history, 72 years. 72 over.
History, though, isn't it?
Can I ask you one thing? Do you think they believe in race equality?
I don't think it's their position to have an opinion.
Do you think the monarchy were ever connected to slavery at any point in life?
That's
absolutely, yeah.
Question though, because if you say no, but if you ask if the monarchy's been connected to slavery, the monarchy, as in British monarchy, has spanned through 1,000 years. So of course there was slavery. I'm not even talking slavery of Africans. I'm talking slavery of the Irish that have had their titles stripped to them. One of my best friends, Mikey. He doesn't even have his surname, and it pains him to this day, the fact that his surname was stolen from him at birth. So I think slavery is a very, as we're looking at it now, like I feel like it's a term that a lot of people think, okay, Africans, the slave trade. But people don't understand the slavery that's happened way before that, and it's still to this day that's happening. Slavery from sweatshops in the East, right? That's slavery. You're literally impeding people's rights unless they're able to afford a standard of living, which they would never.
But do you reckon there's influence from the past?
Oh, 100%. Of course there's influence. But one thing that I will say, there's a famous quote by William Blake. I don't know if you know. Have you heard of William Blake?
I don't like I know who that is. No way.
So William Blake was a very, very configurative author, and he said if the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. Because if the doors of perception weren't cleansed, you would have opinion left, right, and centre about everything.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I don't get that personally.
Okay. Well, how about the saying that if we cannot remember the past, we are condemned to repeat it, but if we cannot forget the past, we are condemned to relive it?
I don't know. I just personally think that they've got a tainted history. It's something I just don't support. Just like with my morals and the way I was brought up, I was just brought up not to really give them anything because they've never really done anything for me or my family or my lineage or anything like that. So,
do you feel like there's a sense of ignorance from that?
No, not at all. No.
So what do you not think they've done for you or your family?
Well, my granddad's Caribbean country. Comes from a Caribbean country, and you know they treated that place like shit. It's from Belize. It's a country that the Queen has not rules over, you know what I mean? It has a
Dominion, yeah.
Yeah. Has dominion over, and
I don't. It's in the Caribbean though, because the Caribbean's
Belize, and the way that it was treated there, it's not great, you know, and like. I feel like if, you know, the Queen ruled over it, I thought, you know, it'd have a little bit more funding at least.
But then I beg to question, when did the Queen actually have dominion over? Because the thing is, you have to understand at some point as well that the Queen's powers are limited. And because we are a democracy, although the Queen has the right to go to war at any point, regardless, like if she literally said, I want to go to war for this country, she'll go to war. However, she needs to take the views of the public in hand. So, at the same time, not just for England, but she also has to do it for all the 14 Commonwealth countries. So, when she decided to give up Barbados, that was a general stance that she had, because it wasn't just her view, because again, the Queen, the royal family, the whole institution is about being impartial, about these kind of social, economic views.
Okay, so so a question for that is, So when Parliament hangs, why do they go to the Queen for approval?
Because the Queen's the only person that can give approval.
Why? I thought you just said she should stay impartial politically.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Parliament isn't just divided between one or two persons, it's divided behind predominant two parties. And let's be honest, there's over 30 representatives on each party. So she has to take into consideration of each individual's account for that representation for their party. So I feel like if she's had to make a decision, again, it's a democratic vote, not from the public, but it's from who us at as the public have voted into office, whether that be MPs, whether that be the Prime Minister. We have voted in a party, and there's be a shadow cabinet to shadow that party, to go not against, to challenge their views. So politically thinking, again, as a sort of country that's very, democratic, she has to take into consideration both parties' opinions. And if both parties' opinions match up, then she would have to consult her consultees. But I say fortunately for her, maybe not fortunately for her, but there's never been that kind of situation. There's always been concession towards one or other party.
Okay, so what about the opinion of the general public?
That's kind of what I've just described.
Yeah.
So
Do you think majority of the general public support the Conservative Party right now, presently?
I don't have the facts and figures to stack that up. But I will say is I feel like there's a lot of leading. There's a lot of leading on from both parties. And I feel like with that leading, I mean, like, are you left wing?
Yeah, I say left wing. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, left wing.
Or do you think the Conservative Party have actually done anything good for Britain in the past 12 years of reign?
No, as you can see, food banks have gone up. Homelessness has gotten worse. We're going for the cost of living. So no, I don't think.
The cost of living, I don't think was anything to do with the Conservative Party. That was
handling of the cost of living, though.
How would left wing have handled it?
I think a windfall tax would have really helped a lot sooner.
Look at Gordon Brown, 2008. Let's look at Gordon Brown.
I was 6 years old. I don't know.
Okay, well, Gordon Brown fucked the economy up. He's the reason why we had to go into basically another recession. Because he didn't want to give up bananas.
What about Partygate?
No, okay, right. So what I actually believe with regards to Partygate was the fact that, let's be honest, did any of us, hand on our hearts, did any of us actually stick to lockdown regulations and rules?
No, but
did you?
If you implement rules, you should
No, but that's not the question.
Sorry.
You're asking people to follow rules and they're not following them themselves, then...
This is before that. Partygate was in Christmas. Lockdown was initiated in April.
No, but
Well, actually, lockdown was actually initiated on the 21st of March, 2019. So people aren't respective of that. Should you really... Pardon?
Do you think you should lead by example, though?
Oh, 100%. 100% I think you should lead by example.
Would you apply that to the Queen?
Yeah.
But she did she not? Prince and she was isolated? 100%.
Yeah, she did do it, so good for her.
Would you guys like to join the debate?
We would. What's going on?
So how do you feel about the death of Queen Elizabeth?
Couldn't give a fuck, personally.
She smells like a pillowcase full of old farts, probably, so...
Have you smelt it before?
He's asking. Is this for news? Is this for news?
Real news.
Oh, you want real news? All right, hang on.
Alright, yeah, we're off.
Hang on, let me get my news
No,
out.
I don't really give a fuck about someone who protected their paedophile son with all of our taxes, and not to mention I will mention all of the other fucking, shit she's done. Colonizer, fucking... Yeah, she's done a lot of shit, so I don't really... We came out tonight for a drink in celebration. The fact she's dead, and people are saying that, she was a... at the end of the day, it was a family, and there's a family grieving and stuff, but think of all the people that are going to die in the next...
Or people who can't pay their energy
Exactly.
bills. Like, basically, she was living in the biggest council house in the world.
She was,
Absolutely. She
absolutely.
exists on the taxpayer's dime.
Yeah. All the people
Am I wrong, though?
Sorry, what?
Wrong. I say you
She
are
wasn't
wrong.
a good person. She wasn't a good person.
What makes you say that? Go on.
First reason, what I've just said there, she protected her paedophile son.
I said, what actually has she done as a royal that makes you not believe that she was as good as a monarch?
Well, you're speaking to someone who doesn't agree with the royals in general.
So, like, technically, you don't have the education to speak about the subject, so you can't actually comment. You have an opinion, which I respect. Completely respect your opinion.
I don't care. That's all I'm saying.
You're not educated enough about the subject. You don't respect and you haven't had education towards the subject, therefore you are not.
Monarchy, and I don't respect anything to do with.
I just don't respect anyone who can like live on a taxpayer's dime when there are people starving, when there are people who can't afford to pay their fucking bills.
The Queen has been paying her tax.
I wasn't finished either.
Oh, well, finish then.
I don't respect anyone who lives on a taxpayer's dime in a fucking mansion that is worth more than anything that like all the people in Manchester will fucking make in their lifetime on the taxpayer's dime. We're facing an engine cost of living crisis and we can't afford to pay our fucking bills. Like everyone is in a panic right now. Everyone's fucking anxious and nervous because we don't make enough to pay our fucking bills. And the royal family, they just live on a taxpayer's dime.
Where are your stats? Where are your stats for that? Sorry.
Well, I found them right in your shit coat. That's where I found them. Hang on, are they here? Oh, are they here? Oh no, that's just your flaccid cock.
So what I'm getting from that is that they couldn't support the stats, so they've resorted to shade.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, no, I live by facts and